Today I will be showing you how to fertilize a lawn. We typically use Scott's Weed and Feed fertilizer. It fertilizes the grass as well as kills broadleaf weeds. Today we're going to be using Virgo slow-release nitrogen-rich fertilizer for the grass. I'm using a slow-release fertilizer. Now what that means is that I don't have to water in the fertilizer, but I must apply it to a damp lawn. This fertilizer that I'm using contains nitrogen. Lawns love nitrogen. Why do they love nitrogen? The fertilizer helps with the lushness and greenness of the grass. It also helps with the roots so it could grow even more. It also keeps it free from disease and pests. And in the case of weed and feed, with the Scott's Weed and Feed, it prevents broadleaf weeds from taking over. I recommend you fertilize your lawn at least 2 times a year. In spring before and during the growth season, and again in fall before the dormant season. Don't fertilize during the dormant season, as it could promote weed growth. Lawn fertilizers contain nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Before I show you how to fertilize, I'm going to give you a few tips. As I said before, only fertilize during the growth season and never fertilize during the dormant season. A good sign that your lawn needs fertilization is if it turns yellow. Also, it might be that the grass is not getting the right amount of water. You could do a soil test to make sure what kind of fertilizer you should use. Always check your bag for instructions, as it can tell you not to use fertilizer on certain grasses. Never fertilize new grass. Wait at least until it's been mowed 4 times. Do not apply fertilizer on hot days, as it could burn the grass very bad. Never fertilize on windy days or if rain is predicted within the first 24 hours. For the slow release fertilizer that we use, we need to apply it on wet grass. Also let your customer know not to water the lawn for at least 24 hours. Fertilizer is a chemical and it can be dangerous. You always want to wear your PPE, that's your glasses, your dust mask, and your gloves. Lawn fertilizer is not to be used on plants and trees. There are many different types of fertilizers for citrus, fruits, and different types of plants. Before I do a demonstration, I want to walk you through the steps that we're going to do. Step 1. You want to turn on the sprinklers so that way the grass is nice, wet, and damp. Step 2. You're going to want to put on your PPE, that's your gloves, your mask, and your glasses. Step 3, if you want to fill it just enough for the property. Step number 4, once you put the fertilizer in the spreader, you're going to want to walk the circumference of the grass. Then at a zigzag motion, spread it. I'm turning on the sprinklers from the valves, so that way I don't need the clock to turn on. Sometimes you're going to have to turn on a few to find the one you want. Five to 10 minutes each station, so that way that the dirt gets really nice and damp. Most of the water will rest on top of the grass and not even touch the bottom, so the more time you put, the more likely it is to actually get soaked into the dirt. And that's what we really want. You turn on one, and you water for 5 minutes, and you turn on the other one. You don't want to make it worse by putting fertilizer on dry dirt or dry grass. Just poking a hole, making sure. Get my gloves. The setting here is determines how the amount of fertilizer you want to come out. One, it will open a little slit at the bottom, just ever so slightly. And the more you go down, the more that little slit becomes open and the more fertilizer is able to shoot out. Now you always want to be careful when you open it, because sometimes big chunks of fertilizer will come out and land on the grass and you'll see spots of yellow right there. I'm going to put it on 3. Is a good setting. It's not too open and it's not too closed. And it's a very small lawn. It's nothing too big. You usually want 5 when you're doing big lawns and you want a bigger spread. Next, I'm going to walk the area and spread, and then I'm going to go in a zigzag motion so that way I get an even spread. As you saw, I walked at a very slow and steady pace, so that way I could spread the product evenly. I use far too much fertilizer. That's why it's important to measure how much you're going to use for the lawn. Always remember to have a measuring cup so that way you put the right amount for your lawn. As you're spreading the fertilizer, you're going to see that some of it's going to get on the sidewalk and on the street. It's okay. As soon as you're done with everything, applying it and all that, you're going to want to grab your blower or a broom and clean it up. So that way no animals or kids will touch it.